subscribers now became a massive channel with
400. Nah, son, we doing covers. We doing covers next. You know what I'm saying? Who goes to beat it? So, yeah, that's what we doing next. Hey, look, y'all gonna have to get accustomed to this singing. But right now, we have creepiest men on YouTube, the disturbing crimes of elderly creators. Let's get it.
dose of positivity in my life. One of my favorite places to go on the internet is what I like to call wholesome old people YouTube. From an old timer dishing out sage life advice,
old man's
to a
advice,
sweet
okay.
grandmother showcasing Great Depression recipes, to feature men
Great Depression recipe. Watermelons. We're not even gonna talk about it. We're not even gonna talk about it.
just living his best life.
Hello, watermelon students. Today I'll be
Oh, is he calling me a watermelon student? Oh, nah, chat. He's done. He's done. He's done.
doing a tutorial
I'm
on
trolling,
the
I'm
correct
trolling, I'm
way
trolling.
to eat a watermelon, as you can see right here.
YouTube's most senior creators are a reprieve from the often cynical nature of the online world. But spend enough time on the web and you'll find that even the most wholesome of content creators can hold dark secrets.
True.
Disturbing dealings from one's past tend to become exposed in time as an online
You're black, you already know how to eat a watermelon?
and
That's
elderly
crazy.
Creators are no exception to this rule. From a 77-year-old man sent to prison for his YouTube channel,
Albert
to
Einstein?
a seemingly pure senior citizen singer ending up as a registered offender, these are the disturbing stories of YouTube's criminal elders.
Oh, nah, son. Hey, listen, shout out to the sponsor. Link in the description. Skillshare, shout out to y'all.
Our first
Plasma
story involves
Master
an old
Don.
retiree becoming a YouTube star in his later years. His channel was considered one of the most wholesome corners of YouTube, a place that brought people hope in the midst of the pandemic. But little did the internet know, this man was keeping a dirty secret.
What was that?
Yeah, he's my baby. A big baby.
Oh, my man
big
giggling like
baby.
that.
Meet Plasma Master Don. This retired plasma burner joined YouTube in 2012. He posted a variety of content, from him walking around local parks and just him filming himself in his house.
Oh, okay. You're gonna mark your territory. I got news for you. This isn't your territory. That is my webcam.
You said he looked like he got secrets?
It's a tech
Dang.
webcam. There's another picture of that is Seth Green, which he also signed.
But what really cemented Don as this lovable old goof were the rap songs he created under his alter ego, Grandpa Dope.
Hat turned sideways?
68 years, still as humble as ever, killing the beat of passion, no matter what the weather. Age is just a number. Nothing in this world will stop my hunger. What was on TV? Watch Chris Angel, mine.
Freak,
Lights turned down low.
In addition to
Yo,
his
my man low key, my body Harry Mack, no cap, all right?
Grandpa Dope tracks, Don also did cover songs, which he would often do pop covers or covers of children's songs like Rubber Ducky from Sesame Street. So thanks to these Grandpa
He a
Dope
rapper.
rap songs and the
Get him on the
covers that he
feature.
performed,
Hey, he said that man's hiding a deep dark secret. I'm not doing no songs with that man, brother. You're done.
Don was able to get a little fan base going. He had a niche following, dedicated at that. Time and time again, folks were tuning in to watch the silly-ass antics of this old guy.
Here we go, Niners. Here we go.
Yeah.
San Fran's going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah.
And it really was heartwarming to see just how grateful it seemed Don was for his viewers. It seemed like he really cared about his fans. Don often shouted out his viewers in videos and made slideshows which revealed the names and faces of his newest subscribers.
W-Mains.
On numerous occasions, Don asked his viewers to private message him their full name and address so that he could mail them signed autographs of himself.
I don't know about
This is the picture that you'll get. Here's what you gotta do. Just leave your name and full address in a private
I don't know if
message
I'm
to
sending
me
my
on,
address.
YouTube, and I'll mail you one.
Don's engagement with his fans even extended to him getting in private Skype calls with them and performing rap songs.
Alex, my friend from the UK. He's okay. Talk to him on Skype almost every
day.
He's a cool guy, likes to rap.
Don liked to maintain a close relationship with his fans. He would often share details of his personal life with these fans, explaining on many occasions that he was dealing with a long-term medical issue that would sometimes land him in the hospital.
Excuse me. I just got released from the hospital today. And as you can see, I'm wearing oxygen.
All things considered, it seemed like the guy didn't have the greatest life, and this was something that was keeping him going. It was hard not to feel bad for him. YouTube was all this man had, the only thing bringing him joy in life, and one could only imagine the joy Don felt in 2020 when an unexpected blessing was granted to him and his channel by
This
the
video
YouTube
had to blow up.
algorithm. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, the world really needed a dose of positivity, and well, Plasma Master Don had it in great supply.
Love you. I always love you.
During
That's
the lockdown,
great.
several of Don's musical covers ended up going viral, notably his Joji Slow Dancing in the Dark cover, which topped over 2.4
2 million?
views.
Hey, I'm singing, chat. We doing
I
covers.
can't compete. You looked at me like I was someone else.
People saw Don's channel as this sort of symbolic message, saying that no matter who you are, how old you are, whatever, you can still make a name on YouTube.
He did X
and
gonna give it to you?
enjoy
Ain't no
yourself,
way he did that,
I
boy.
guess. What was once a small channel with less than 1,000 subscribers now became a massive channel with
400? Nah, son. We doing covers. We doing covers next. You know what I'm saying? Who goes beat it? So, yeah, that's what we doing next. Hey, look, y'all gonna have to get accustomed to this singing. Facts.
over 400,000 subscribers, and folks felt like Don deserved these clicks. A brief foray into his comment sections reveals how much the YouTube community treasured this seemingly wholesome man at the time. Protect him at all costs, they said. But unfortunately, this reverence of Plasma Master Don would be short-lived, as the added attention to Don's channel brought newfound scrutiny and the exposure of a disturbing secret. On October 10th
GG's,
of
my boy.
2020, a thread would be posted to the Morbid Reality subreddit stating the following. Swedish elderly cover artist Plasma Master Don is actually a recently registered sex offender.
Oh,
and
he's
the proof
done.
attached were 2 images, one showing Don's YouTube channel with a few thumbnails of his face, and the second image being from the Ohio Sex Offender Registry. The offender's mugshot
he's
was of a
done.
curiously familiar-looking man named Donzel Edward Owens. The registry claimed that the man was guilty of sexual imposition, a misdemeanor crime in the state of Ohio that involves one making unwanted
Right before he
sexual contact.
Ohio. Oh, y'all are done. Y'all are done. Yo, I did not even, boy. Yeah, hey, Ohio. How many L's are y'all gonna take? All right.
A misdemeanor crime in the state of Ohio that involves one making unwanted sexual contact with another individual. The entry goes on to state that Donzel Owens
What y'all got
victim was
going
a
on up there,
juvenile
man?
white male. Even more disturbingly, the act was committed in April of 2019. So if this very familiar looking man was in fact Plasma Master Don, that would mean that Don had committed a sex crime while being praised as the innocent sweet grandpa of the internet. News reports from the time
What
provide
did he do,
additional
though,
context
exactly?
to the crime committed by this Donzel Edwards individual. It states that the man was charged with, quote, sexual imposition for allegedly grabbing another male's genitals on Sunday. Another report from August of 2019 details his sentencing. Quote, the man was fined $200, credited with a day in jail, and required 30 hours of community service for sexual imposition for grabbing another man's
That's
genitals
crazy.
with his hand on
Joe
April
with the
9th.
ray,
So
yes,
this
sir.
Reddit exposed post was quite the bit of breaking news, to say the least. Folks held out hope that Plasma Master Don had an evil twin lookalike that was responsible for these crimes, but unfortunately the sex offender registry page had more information that pretty much made it clear that Plasma Master Don and Donzel Owens were the same guy. In many
That's crazy.
Plasma Master Don videos...
So, okay, chat. Let's try to have this conversation without getting canceled, okay? What I'm saying is, like, let's not do this. Hold on. Let me think a little bit more.
He attributes himself to having this
The Ohio meat grabber.
Donzel Owens Jr. name. So that's a big red flag by itself. Additionally, the sex offender registry lists the offender's date of birth as September 10th of 1947.
Oh, he's done.
Well, in the About section of Plasma Master Don's channel, one finds the exact same birth date. And finally, the registry lists the man's vehicle as being a white 2005 Buick Century. Don has a video showcasing a white Buick Century that looks to be just about that year.
Good morning, YouTube. I've had a few requests on making a video of my car. This is a 2005 Buick Century.
Okay, like, so when they say, like, sex offender, right? People will throw Don totally away, right? Because he's on the registry for touching somebody's meat, right? But there's people out here who done, you know what I'm saying, up blickies, gave down Hall of Fame beatdowns to people, all right? And people are like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they free to go create. So,
Custom.
Listen, I just need a little bit more consistency from people, okay?
Plasma Master Don and convicted sex offender Donzel Edward Owens Jr. were one and the same.
Sounds like someone could use a cookie. Have a cookie, bro. Calm yourself. Chocolate chip and peanut butter.
Yep, this innocent grandpa of YouTube had allegedly groped another male's genitals without consent, all while performing covers of children.
Now, was it wrong? Of course. All right? Come on. That's not what we're arguing here. But, like, people throw away the whole channel. It's YouTubers who done got in fights on YouTube. They out here spamming buttons, okay? On other people, sometimes for no reason, right? Listen.
Songs soliciting viewers' full names and addresses to send them
You look like the type to be grabbing
and
these.
Skyping with young men who were fans
check
of
out your
his.
stream. Love your
Alex,
vids.
my friend from the UK. He's okay.
The amateur simp. Well, hey, welcome to the chat. You know what I'm saying? W name though. W name.
Talk to him on Skype almost every day.
Just leave your name and full address in a private message to me here. YouTube subscribers have visited me. You're welcome to visit if you want to. Killing the beat of passion, no matter what the weather. Age is just a number. Age is just a number. Age is just a number.
Okay, now, hold on, chat. Listen, I will throw away every statement I have made, all right? I will throw it in the garbage, okay? If my man's goes with his video is alluding, he's going, okay? All right?
Yeah, knowing his crime, it really changes the way you view his older content. With Don's secret now known by the internet, people started swarming his comment sections, shaming him and warning new viewers of his offender status. Interestingly, while in these comment sections, users stumbled across this comment, quote, "I wish he was my grandpa. I wouldn't mind the odd touching." This comment was favorited by Don himself.
Oh, he's done! You're finished, big fella! You're done!
Dude was a total pervert.
Have a cookie, bro. Calm yourself.
While there was nothing in the terms of Don's probation that legally prohibited him from operating a YouTube channel, it was reasonable for the YouTube community to be outraged by his presence considering how recently he had sexually imposed upon another individual. The thought was that his channel was dangerous because it could potentially be used to lure in another victim. Hell, I mean, he had asked for people's names and addresses in the past. So how does Don respond to all this? Well, he never really officially does. Days after the Reddit post was shared, Don would upload a video explaining that his declining health was causing him to lose his voice and he would likely be shutting down the channel in the near future.
Boy.
This was viewed by many as a deflectionary tactic for him to basically fall off the face of the earth without having to explain himself to his viewers. Don would upload videos for several more months until November of 2020. After which he would disappear from YouTube forever, never once discussing his sexual imposition conviction on his channel. It turns out though, Don's claimed that health problems were the reason for him needing to leave YouTube. Those claims weren't completely untrue, as just a month after
You like the old dude from Family Guy?
December 21st, 2020, Donzel Edward Owens Jr., aka Plasma Master Don, passed away at Salem Hospital in Salem, Ohio at the age of 73.
Dang.
His obituary attributes his passing to a, quote, lengthy illness. It's really hard to describe this story other than it being dark and depressing. It's unsettling in the sense that such a seemingly innocuous figure was able to fool everyone to such an extent. And on the other hand, I find it sad that
like, fool is like a crazy stretch though, like for this, all right? Because listen, I done seen a lot of people in my life. And if people were to have cameras inside of these clubs, gyms, grocery stores, a lot of y'all would get the same charges as Mr. Don here, okay? All right? I think, like, man, is it bad? Of course, okay? It's bad. But we got people out here shooting people, stabbing people, punching people, robbing people. To say like, well, hold on, what did he say?
figure was able to fool everyone to
Fool everybody? What?
such an extent. And on the other hand, I find it sad that the last days of this man's life were filled with him watching his YouTube channel crumble and people reminding him of his criminal past. And speaking of his crime, the sexual imposition thing, I want to briefly note here that it's not exactly known what age his victim was. I've heard many people.
Oh, I thought they said he was like 56 or something like that. I thought the person was like 50 something.
YouTube say that his victim was quote unquote a little boy.
Oh, if he was, pack him up. All right, I'll take back everything I said. Goodbye, Donathan. Goodbye.
The actual age of the victim is not publicly available. While the sex offender registry for Ohio did at one point state that his victim was a juvenile.
Oh, yep, pack him up. Yep, pack him up. He's done. Hey, see, I didn't know that. I didn't see that part. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He's done. Get him out of here. Look, somebody go and clip the beginning. It's like, oh, look at Holla trying to cape for it. No, pack him up. He's done. He's done. Get him out of here. Hey, man.
Juvenile, publicly available court documents regarding Don's criminal case do not make such a distinction as far as the victim's actual age. That registry entry is the only place that I've been.
They gave him a $200 fine and 1 day in jail for a minor? He's done. Get that man out of here, man.
Been able to find that says.
See, I was assuming, you know what I'm saying, on my foolish behalf, right? I thought like the court gave him a day and $200. You know what I'm saying? It was probably an adult. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? But GG's in the chat. Don, you're done.
As the victim was a juvenile. So just keep that in mind. Regardless of what age his victim was, Don's actions were
Cultural
repulsive and his
appropriators
entire
crazy.
YouTube persona essentially a facade. From wholesome grandpa of the internet to convicted sexual imposer, that was the case of Plasma Master Don.
Yo, he's done.
Our next case of an elderly creator with a dark past is a bit of a moral conundrum. An honestly tragic series of events that led to prison time and heartbroken fans.
And they're going inside your ears and inside your hair, and then they're inside your eyes trying to get inside, but your eyes are shut and they want to eat and sleep just like you. You know why she's doing this? Do you know why she's doing this? This precious little dog was taken away from her mother before she had a chance.
Arizona, I'm letting you know.
That this dog
if he live in Ohio too, you're done.
dog is suckling on belongs to old school YouTube content creator Edward Muscari, aka Ederum. Ed
Ederum.
created his YouTube channel all the way back in September of 2006, and almost immediately
Makai
garnered
was
viral
good.
attention due to his bizarre looks and uncanny videos.
My man looked like Albert Einstein.
While some of Ed's videos were a bit creepy, a lot of his content was just silly and downright wholesome at times.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the schnoz. I'd like to pass along a very interesting way to
6'9" before 6'9"?
nuclear. Now, honey, don't bite my. I just fixed my hair. No precious. Yes, you've got to brush your dog, especially in the springtime, because their hair really comes out. That's a lot of fur.
That's why I'm not getting no dogs,
I think I'll put
man.
it in a pillowcase, and I'll have a nice soft pillow. Brush your dogs. They got a lot of fur coming off in the springtime.
Son, what if that's like the origins of like fur coats? They used to just take excess fur and make fur coats. And then they were like, nah, there's a market right here. Let's start breeding and slaughtering. And yeah, that's probably what happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay? That's a good boy. Yes, it is. Dad's little buddy.
Ed was just an old man who liked playing with his dogs,
You precious animal.
showing off his prized red beetle,
There it is, ladies
Get
and
the dogs
gentlemen,
that
my
don't
little
shed.
beetle.
I don't want a
and
dog,
most
man.
importantly, making people laugh.
The only dog I want is my. Nah, I'm joking. Yo, that was a no. Hey, listen. Ah, man.
Best back scratcher.
See, y'all thought I was gonna say the B word. I was gonna say the only dog I want is my boys. You know, my dogs. You know, those is my dogs. Gotcha. You're done. All right.
Many of Ed's early videos involve him showcasing his radio voice.
Yeah,
And
that's
it actually
crazy. Your
turns
toilet
out
brush is
that
insane.
Ed had a storied history in radio and television media, working in the industry throughout the 70s and 80s.
Now, here's your weeknight
Birthday
host
what
on
next
All Night
week?
Live, Ed
Happy
Muscari.
pre-birthday, Ashley.
We're going to do it over again so we get it right. The reason we said it's Friday is because we want to start all over again. We had a bad weekend. Can we do that? Here's tonight's Twilight Zone.
Known as Uncle Ed in the business, he was most notable for being the charismatically cool host of Uncle Ed's All Night Live. The show aired alongside late-night syndicated programming in Kansas City. Uncle Ed was a rising star in television and was well-liked in the industry, but unfortunately, his career and reputation would be tarnished thanks to a crime committed in 1986. In '86, Edward committed sexual battery on a 14-year-old boy in Orlando, Florida. He would ultimately plead no contest to the charges and was convicted. He was sentenced
They
to
mean
prison
no
for 18
contest.
months and was given 10 years of probation. I would never sexually offend again, but we can't help but sin. We're all human.
What kind of explanation is that? I would never do this again, but you know, like we all do it, right? No, Edward, we don't. We don't all do this.
beings. Edward Muscari. So 20 years after this incident, Ed creates his YouTube channel and becomes beloved by the YouTube community. Naturally, Ed doesn't disclose that he's a registered sex offender to these viewers, nor does his newfound audience remember the '86 incident, as you would have had to have been familiar with his prior work and likely in the industry to even know about it. And keep in mind, Ed doesn't display his full name on his YouTube channel, it's just Ederum, that's what people knew him as. His history
true.
was something that he kept on the hush-hush. The '86 incident was a regrettable mistake from the past, but it happened. And with that said, Ed would do his best to keep this old blunder out of the public light, likely fearing that it would negatively affect his YouTube prospects. And this wasn't the only time in Ed's life that he tried to hide his past from the public. One thing not known by many on the internet is that Ed was somewhat of a troublesome individual in the eyes of the Florida courts. Florida is where Ed spent most of his time living since his conviction in '86. This contentious relationship with the courts wasn't because he reoffended or anything, it's because he attempted to undermine the sex offender registry. This generally manifested
tried to move
in
next
Ed
to a
not
school?
disclosing to the courts when he changed addresses. And this is important because when you're a convicted offender, the court and the public is supposed to know where you're at. In 1998, Ed was given extra probation time for ducking the registry.
Oh,
And
man.
this would happen again. In 2006, around the time of Ed starting his YouTube channel, he would make an unauthorized move from the state of Florida to the state of South Carolina.
Hey, good. Hey, Edward, skip right past Georgia. We cannot have you on our, you know what I'm saying, in our representation, big fella. All right?
It's not exactly known why Ed chose South Carolina, but his reason for wanting to leave Florida was that he was reportedly facing repeated harassment from his neighbors due to him being in the sex offender registry. After arriving in South Carolina, Ed would continue uploading content to his loving and loyal fan base. He would go on to become a YouTube legend, and he would receive enormous praise for his unique videos and cheerful persona. As a viewer of his content, it was genuinely heartwarming to see the old man enjoying himself, doing what he loved, entertaining people.
You probably noticed my shirt, didn't you? Ah, yes. This is what life is all about. Cool shirts. One of the pleasures of living.
That's a cool shirt.
But Ed couldn't run
He like
from
the
his
villain
past
from the
forever.
Smurfs. True.
In 2009, South Carolina and Florida authorities would discover Ed's unauthorized move. Ed was ducking the sex offender registry yet again. It's reported that his justification for this was that he feared judgment and persecution from his new South Carolinian neighbors, similar to what he experienced in Florida. It's a reasonable fear to have, but it's not an excuse. The courts would allow Ed to stay in South Carolina, but he would be punished heavily for undermining the sex offender registry. Ed would be placed on an additional 5 years of probation by the Florida courts and was forbidden from using computers and the internet.
Oh,
And
that's
you know what
crazy.
that means? No more YouTube. And for Ed, this might as well have been a death sentence. As the internet and his hundreds of thousands of adoring YouTube fans, that's likely what was keeping Ed going in these later years of his life. He had to keep entertaining the viewers. The show must go on, he likely thought to himself. So Ed comes up with what seemed to be a foolproof plan. Instead of uploading the videos himself, he would record a video, then hand it off to a friend. This friend would then log into his YouTube channel and upload the video on Ed's behalf.
All right. Is that legal? Does that, like, you know what I'm saying, circumvent the law?
Thus, technically speaking, it would be possible for Ed to still regularly upload to his YouTube channel without ever having to touch a computer. The man had single-handedly outsmarted the United States justice system. Or so he thought. The courts, who paid close attention to Ed's YouTube channel, saw these new uploads as him violating his probation. Whether he was the one uploading the videos or a friend being the one uploading the videos, they weren't having any of it. And Ed was made to come face to face with the Florida courts once again. While in court, Ed said the following: "I'm frankly bewildered that I'm here. I don't think I've done anything wrong. My videos aren't immoral. I feel in my heart I did nothing wrong. Please, Your Honor, have mercy. My videos make people laugh." Ed pleaded with the judge to show him mercy, but the courts had apparently exhausted all goodwill with Edward Muscari.
They put him in jail?
As a result of him violating probation and uploading YouTube videos, in January of 2010, Edward Muscari, at the age of 77, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Shortly after being sentenced, an individual that Ed had given his login information to would upload a bulletin to the Ederum YouTube channel explaining to viewers that he was imprisoned for making YouTube videos. This obviously angered and saddened his loyal fans, with many leaving comments such as "Free Ederum," but no online outrage could reverse Ed's court-issued punishment.
Of course.
Edward Muscari would remain in prison for the rest of his life. He passed away from lung cancer on January 8th of 2012 at the age of 79.
Yo, do y'all think they should have put him in jail? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
Yes, you've got to brush your dog.
Are you allowed to react to music? We don't react to music on this channel. Especially on stream, they gonna clap that joint, no cap.
Well, I guess life can't be serene all the time, right?
Crown Up Tune was good.
The story of Edward Muscari, in my view, is the definition of tragic. While
Will you do
Ed did
karaoke
commit a
somehow?
heinous
True.
crime in the 1980s, he never reoffended, and I think it's fair to say that he was no real danger to society.
True.
Furthermore, his YouTube presence not only was an innocuous hobby, it brought joy to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world. With his crime being 20 years in the past, it's fairly unreasonable to think that him creating videos was dangerous in any way.
Like him moving is like a thing. Like they could have put like an ankle monitor on him or something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was more like more of a legitimate punishment, you know?
However, Ed was wrong to keep his dark past a secret, and his repeated undermining
Mackenzie,
of the sex
thank you for the
offender registry
sub.
was extremely questionable and, more importantly, illegal. His self-induced downward spiral is a cautionary tale that demonstrates the dangers of running from one's criminal history. While obfuscating the past may have given Ed more agency over his public image in the short term, the long arm of the law inevitably caught up to him, ending
Facts.
not only his YouTube career, but putting him in prison for the rest of his life. While the two individuals I discussed today may share a similar demographic, their stories are honestly vastly different. The
Yeah,
case
for
of
sure.
Plasma Master Don
That boy was getting touchy right before he blew up, boy. He done.
is a warning to viewers. Be wary of who you reward with viewership. His sweet old man persona masked the predatory pervert within, fooling hundreds of thousands of people along the way. And the case of Edward Muscari being far more tragic, and honestly, I feel sympathy for the guy. The lesson to be learned from his story is never run from your past. Ed wasn't the sum of his past mistakes, but trying to hide his criminal history led to his own demise. But that was a disturbing journey through the careers of YouTube's most controversial seniors. Let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comments section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next.
Bro, W video from Wavy Web Surf. Both of these guys, you know what I'm saying? The first one, they didn't confirm, but they said it was a juvenile. Don, you done. Okay, that's all I got to say about that one. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I thought when they said it, they said he was 56. So I was like, oh, you know, like, yes, it's bad for sure. But, you know what I'm saying? Stated the case. Once they said it was a juvenile, you're done, big fella. Pack him up. Second guy, putting him in jail 20 years later. I don't know. But, hey, listen. All you got to do is not do creepy stuff in your life, and you're going to be all right. Facts.